the descent of the so-called Iron Curtain after World War II, Poland's Soviet liberators imposed an oppressive communist regime over the Polish people. But as the costs of the Cold War taxed the Soviet Empire, civil unrest came to a head. Like elsewhere in the Eastern Bloc, Poland suffers under the hardship of Soviet domination. Contrary to the communist doctrine, the party is not run by and for the workers. Unions have long since been crushed, and the threat of a military crackdown keeps the workers in check. Not surprisingly, workers are frequently absent, and without any motivation, their work is shoddy. As a result, the Polish economy suffers greatly. The economy is not the only thing that creates communist resentment. The atheistic stance of the party also goes against the lingering national identity of the Poles. The 1979 visit of Pope John Paul II to Poland rekindles a sense of nationalism. People begin to look on the church as an alternate form of organized leadership. The Pope is a natural leader. He's a Pole himself, keeping the faith of his countrymen alive from beyond the reach of the oppressive Soviet regime. His controversial politics anger the Soviet regime and encourage Polish nationalism. Ironically, the harder the Communist Party tries to crush Catholicism, the more tightly the people cling to their faith. On May 13, 1981, an attempt is made on the Pope's life. He has just opened his general audience, and as he makes his way through the crowd, blessing children and mixing with the faithful, an assassin fires a gun, wounding the Pope twice. As he is rushed away by car, the crowds at the Vatican are overcome with horror and grief. The spiritual leader of nearly 1 billion people has been shot. The man responsible is Mehmet Ali Agca, a Turk with a mysterious Bulgarian connection and a professional killer. There is hushed speculation that the Russian government is behind the assassination attempt. The motivation is certainly there. His death would deprive the Poles of their spiritual leader. But amazingly, the Pope survives his wounds, giving rise to a feeling that Catholicism in Poland cannot just be stamped out by the Soviets. It cannot be killed by bullets or oppression. To compensate for the growing national debt, the Polish government cuts food subsidies and the prices of goods goes up. This creates further unrest among the people who are already suffering. Frustrated workers in the Gdansk shipyard begin a strike. It's a dangerous move that may prompt a military response from Moscow. But the bold workers make a stand, and out of their ranks, a leader emerges, an obscure electrician named Lech Walesa. Under his leadership, a new union begins to take form, Solidarity. After a long and costly strike, the Polish regime agrees to Solidarity's demands: the right to unionize, the right to strike, the freedom to practice religion, and the freedom of the press. Communism allows only one party, its own. But with 9 million members, this new trade union is dangerously close to becoming a political organization, bringing it in direct conflict with Soviet authority. Moscow allows Solidarity to operate for a period of 1 year. Then the word comes for the Polish government to crack down. Solidarity has become too much of a threat. Fearing the arrival of Soviet troops, the Polish regime complies. The Polish army is mobilized, and the leaders of Solidarity, including Lech Walesa, are jailed or forced to live underground. But the crackdown does not break the spirit of the Solidarity movement. The group continues to function underground. And their leader, Lech Walesa, does not sink back into obscurity while in jail. In fact, in 1983, he is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. As the Soviet economy continues to decline, worsening conditions and subsidy cuts feed social unrest. With opposition groups still applying pressure to the government in 1989, the Polish regime agrees to roundtable talks to seek a compromise. In the end, Solidarity is recognized as a political party, and the communists agree to allow a minority of parliamentary seats to come up for free election. In June of 1989, Solidarity sweeps the election. But a cautious Lech Walesa does not run against the communist presidential candidate, fearing that an upset to the communists would surely bring the tanks rolling in. But by 1990, Walesa is elected president. Changes in the economy still come slowly, but they do come, and the people of Poland finally have a voice in their own government.